Wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations. Wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations, wrestling recommendations.
Welcome back, guys, to the third episode of Wrestling Recommendations. I am your host, Eddie Shepherd, along with
the trivia losing Travis Laster. We did not pull through tonight. I showed up about halfway through because I had to wait for the guy that hit my mailbox to come and be like, hey, did we fix it to your specification? Yes, you Russian fuck. We did it. You did it right.
Someone hit your mailbox? I didn't know that.
Yeah. This is the pictures I was showing Landry and Brandy where some girl got drunk, hit my mailbox, turned it over. The concrete, like the brick column, she hit it, spun around, and fell down. Didn't break it though, but she fucked her Lexus up. Is what the guy told me.
Good, so. Fuck her. Travis, great
USA. Sorry.
We had a great reception for the last two episodes. I know Scott was really excited that we mentioned him in the Sting Cactus Jack episode.
I know, and I was right. Scott did dress up as fucking Sting, and I knew it because I know Scott. It wasn't Surfer Sting though; it was just fucking Crow Sting. Which was it? Brandon Lee? Was it Steve Borden? Who was it?
I think everybody dressed up as the Crow Sting because it was very topical for our age group to dress up like Sting. So it makes sense.
That's true.
But this episode, the Mega Powers explode.
Brother.
Yes, this match, guys, that we're going to be watching tonight is from WrestleMania 5. The WWF champion Macho Man Randy Savage. Freak out.
Yeah.
Taking on the immortal Hulk Hogan.
While Donald Trump looks on and pleasures himself. I think that's what he did. I don't know.
It's kind of weird if you'll notice that all the front row is all suits. It's all Trump's little guys in the front row. Travis, when was the first time you watched this match?
I'd say probably around mid-1999. I got that WrestleMania anthology box set that was like 15 tapes that for Christmas that year. I think so. I think around, might have been Christmas before. Anyway, I ended up with it like that, but I would sit there and watch those tapes religiously because I love wrestling. So I'd start WrestleMania 1 on a weekend and try to watch as many WrestleMania as I could and then pick right up on the next weekend because I was a fucking cool kid. But yeah, that was probably the first time I remember sitting down and watching it and enjoying it. If I saw it before then, it was probably on a Coliseum video or something. But that's when I vividly remember watching it. Was mid-99.
Yeah, my brother, shout out to my brother, who's 13 years older than me. He's the oldest of four. I'm the youngest. They used to have a connection with a buddy of theirs, my dad and my brother, where he would record copies when they would air on pay-per-view. So as a kid, I grew up with, I believe the first tape we had was SummerSlam 88. So it was like right after I was born. And we had WrestleMania 5, which was in 89. So I used to have this on a recorded tape. It was on a Fiji tape. I remember it having the yellowish orange sticker on it saying WrestleMania 5. I used to have a lot of stuff. I had WrestleMania.
You could record 8 hours of action pretty much if you set it like in the shitty mode. I remember that.
I'm trying to think. It's like there was SP, which was short play, which you could get 2 hours out of a tape, and then there was LP, I believe, and then it was ELP, I believe is what the other one was, like extended long play.
Yeah, or then they just changed it to EP, so like it was shitty quality, but like you could get the most out of your tape that way. So,
oh man, we're old. We used to do movies that way too.
Porno. What?
Well, yeah. Later on when I was older, but yeah, I used to. It was kind of the same thing. Like I would watch them in order, so pay-per-view wise. So I'd watch the Rumble because I had all the Rumbles. I believe all the way up till 92, and then I had 93 on Coliseum home video. but we used to, every time we'd order a pay-per-view, we would record it. So I always had them for the longest time on tape. Super illegal, but you know what? Fuck it.
Well, you also got some hidden gems that they edited out of tapes later on by that pay-per-view feed. If you still, that's what a lot of people search for now is the pay-per-view stream or the pay-per-view feed from it. So I know a lot of those torrent sites used to have it up where it'd be like pay-per-view feed or non-Coliseum video feed.
Yeah, I used to have all those tapes when I moved here from Florida. I left a lot of stuff in Florida. I pretty much my car that I had back in the day, my very first car, it broke down, so I never kept everything. I left it most of that in the trunk. So when I moved, I lost a lot of that stuff. So it kind of eats at me a little bit knowing that I left a lot of stuff, and I mean it's gone forever. But now we have Peacock and we can watch all this stuff, and it's pretty cool. So let's roll right into this. Macho Man Randy Savage, because he is the champion, he gets the first little mention here. Randy Poffo is a second generation professional wrestler. His father, Angelo Poffo, was a well known wrestler in the 50s and 60s. Randy also had a brother, Travis. Do you know what Lanny's gimmicks were?
He was leaping Lanny Poffo. He threw fucking frisbees, which Brandon, is it Brandon or you that I bought the autograph picture of old leaping Lanny with the Jerry curl?
It's me.
Oh, there you go. He's the genius. He somehow gets a job with WCW and never wrestles a match. Apparently he can suck his own D. There's a allegedly, but Leapin' Lanny was just a jobber, and then he turns into the G-Nass and
Genius.
manages Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. Then they pretty much say the money that they were with the whole Slim Jim deal pretty much paid for Savage show as like a gratuitous thing. They paid Lanny. So kudos to Lanny getting a paycheck for like what 6 years, something like that.
Also, Randy got Angelo a job in WCW 95 for about 6 months with a terrible angle where he's in like figure fours and shit with the Dungeon of Doom and Flair and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely check that out on our other podcast, Wrestling Ruin, with our buddy Brandon Linne. In the early 80s, Angelo Poffo would run an outlaw mud show, International Championship Wrestling, ICW, that featured Randy and Lanny. They infamously competed with Jerry Lawler's Memphis promotion, as Randy would constantly call Jerry Lawler out on their television tapings. It's fucking wild that they were just doing it knowing that there was no end game, but ironically, there was an end game in the long run. Eventually, the promotion would disband, and Randy and Lanny, I see Randy and Lanny that blended together, entered the Memphis scene. While there, Savage feuded with Jerry Lawler over the AWA Southern Heavyweight title, and he and Lanny would battle the Rock and Roll Express, which I would love to find some of those matches.
Oh my God. Imagine a young Rock and Roll Express.
Short-haired Ricky Morton, that does not do it for me.
Still cross-eyed Robert Gibson, though.
Yeah, he had a huge dick. So good for him. God had a bless him one way and curse him another. So there you go.
He could watch Ricky fuck and watch him fuck, though. Whatever.
You're right. In early 85, Lawler and Savage would resume their feud over the Southern title, which ended when Lawler beat Savage in a loser leaves town match on June 8th, 1985. Shortly after that, a few weeks after that, Macho Man Madness Savage would sign with Vince McMahon's WWF and soon become the top heel. He would eventually beat Tito Santana to win the WWF Intercontinental Champion and feud with George the Animal Steele into WrestleMania 2 over his hairiness and Miss Elizabeth. So there was that.
Miss Elizabeth looking fine.
Back in the day, pretty good. Yeah, it's infamous that when Macho came in, all the managers were trying to be in his corner, be his manager, and there's like it's none of these people, and brings up Miss Elizabeth, and it was kind of for the WWF, it was kind of a first of its kind. Women valets have been a thing for the NWA for years, but in the WWF, you never really saw that, so it was something different.
Yeah, and she was labeled as a manager, not a valet, so. She's the first lady of wrestling. That's what they called her, essentially. And she just was bullied by Macho Man for about the rest of her life.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that to the very end, but Savage would go on to face Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in the fabled match at WrestleMania 3. Everyone knows about this match. Everyone knows Macho Man and Steamboat put this match together on like a legal pad. Macho Man had like 50 something spots. All right, we're doing a headlock into an arm drag into this and that. And some people, frown upon that. I know a lot of people wrestling wise like to call it in the ring. This shows. I know some people are very mixed on this. I think it's one of the better matches, and especially for WrestleMania 3 because the draw is Hogan and Andre, which we'll talk about that here shortly. But that's the match that everyone remembers.
Well, and it's something we may talk about here in a minute too. But man, you go back and watch some of those old WrestleManias, they're not that good in retrospect.
No.
There may be 2-3 matches that sell the card. The rest is filler. Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat saw the opportunity to steal the show, and they did just that because they knew Hogan and Andre wasn't going to be a Mac Classic, but they were going to have all the eyes of the world on them. So they cemented their name in history that night with that match. And
also
wrestlers
on that card,
love that match.
Also on that card, the Bulldogs took on the Hart Foundation, so there's another little hidden gem on that show as well. Of course, though,
British Bulldogs forever.
This match would be the culmination of a long and bitter feud where Savage crushed the larynx of Ricky Steamboat, and he had those "I get it" promos just like that. And Steamboat would defeat Savage, ending his 14-month reign as Intercontinental Champion. He would shortly turn face in 1987. We'll talk about that here in just a second. On the other side of the ring, the immortal cuckster, as we like to call him, Hulk Hogan.
Terry Bollea, brother.
Terry Bollea began watching wrestling at 16 years old while living in Florida and the Florida Championship Wrestling territory. He grew up watching people like Dusty Rhodes and Superstar Billy Graham, kind of the people he grew up watching.
If you will.
In 1976, he would go on to meet famed pro wrestler to us, Mike Graham, in a local gym. Mike broke a 1,000 guitars, never drew a dime. It
Just that gif of him shaking his head, which I'm doing right now, but no one can see.
In our group chat, somebody mentioned Mike Graham. I was like, hold that thought. We're going to mention him on the podcast. So there was it. Mike would go on to introduce Hogan to Hiro Matsuda, who would go on to train Hogan. According to Hogan, during their first training session, he said, "So you want to be a professional wrestler?" He broke fucking Hogan's leg. However, it's hard to tell if this is true or not because Hulk Hogan is infamous for lying, just like he said he was going to be the basis for Metallica. Get fucked, you liar.
He wrestled 400 days in 1 year because he was flying over the international date line.
He's such you. Fucking cuck. In August of 77, he would go on and have his debut match. Do you know who his debut match was actually against?
Was it Lawler?
B. Brian Blair.
Oh, God.
That's pretty interesting, right?
Fucking B. Brian Blair.
It actually worked out for Hogan because Mike Graham's dad was actually one of the presidents of the NWA, so he had a lot of pull. So that kind of goes a long way. Hogan also talks that Mike Graham was influential getting him signed in WCW when he goes to leave. So there's more connection to that. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't really know there was that much of a deep connection between him and Mike Graham.
There used to be.
He did. Hogan appeared on a talk show where he sat next to Lou Ferrigno. The host commented on how Hogan dwarfed the Hulk. Soon after, he began performing as Terry the Hulk Boulder and sometimes wrestled as Sterling Golden. Did not mention any of the Eddie Boulder and all that bullshit. I'm not doing Ed Leslie right now. We're just not doing it.
Dizzy Hogan? What?
Eddie Boulder? We're not doing it. So in 1979, Terry Funk introduced Hulk to Vince McMahon Sr. McMahon gave Hulk the last name Hogan, as he was obsessed with using Irish wrestling names just because he was a territory guy, wanted the Irish folks to come out and have someone to cheer for. At this time, Hogan wrestled Bob Backlund for the WWF Championship, and he was just beginning his first big feud with Andre the Giant as well. They talk about the Shea Stadium match where he wrestles Andre, and also Zbyszko wrestles Bruno
Bruno.
Sammartino in the cage. So that was the same show. After filming his scene for Rocky 3 as Thunder Lips, he actually did this against Vince Sr.'s wishes. He was fired and would shortly debut for the AWA soon after, which was owned by Vern Gagne, who, if you talk to his son, Greg, he calls him Vern. It's weird. It's weird calling their dads by their first name. I don't understand it because I think Shane McMahon does the same thing for Vince. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Vince. No, it's just weird. You say, yeah, my dad. I guess it's a professional thing. I get it, but still, it's weird. Hogan would soon become the promotion's top babyface, feuding with AWA champion Nick Bockwinkel and his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Oh, calm down, Travis.
The brain.
Hogan began to grow frustrated with Vern Gagne's unwillingness to give Hogan a larger share of his merchandise sales. The Hulkamania stuff was selling like crazy. Vern was capitalizing on all of that. He also wanted a cut of his New Japan or his Japan dates as well, since he was, heavily promoting him there. Basically, he just wanted to make everything he could off Hogan because fuck the AWA.
I know. And people are like, oh man, I wonder why AWA went out of business. Oh,
that's fucking why. Imagine if Hogan would have been treated correctly and treated well, and he never left. It would be a whole different fucking world.
Maybe if they didn't do a dusty finish every time he fought Botwinkle and take the belt back away from him, then push Greg to the freaking moon because everybody wanted to see the high flyer Greg Gagne hit a drop kick. No, the fuck they didn't. They wanted his son to shut the fuck up and go back to Minnesota.
You're right.
Fuck you, Greg Gagne.
Fucking Hogan at the time, they kept doing, like Travis was alluding to, they would do these false finishes, and Vern kept doing it on purpose because he wanted the crowd to get to like, and then finally drop the title at the right time, which they would. Hogan would become champion, and then shortly after, he's like, "Fuck this." He was lured back to the WWF by Vince Jr., Vince McMahon, that we all know, who kind of went through and raided pretty much every territory of their stars, looking at Bobby Heenan, Hogan, Gene Okerlund, all these people that he started aligning these stars to make what would become the World Wrestling Federation. Hogan would make his return to the WWF in December of '83. Hogan would go on to save Bob Backlund from a beatdown from the Iron Sheik. Less than 3 weeks later, on January 23rd, Hogan would win his first title, defeating the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden. Fucking wild that Backlund, the title was taken off Backlund on purpose to make Sheik a transitional champion and Hogan to defeat him.
It's just like Stan Stasiak and shit back in the day, or Ivan Koloff or something of that nature. I mean, it's the same thing they used to do. I mean, that's what Superstar Billy Graham was originally going to be, but he was so fucking over, and he had the rap, and everything that it was too easy. They didn't want to take the belt off of him because essentially the WWF/WWF was a babyface territory. They did not have heel champions unless it was to transition to someone else. And Billy Graham, I think, held it for like 2.5. Maybe not that long. Maybe it was only like 11 months or something, but he held it longer than they ever intended him to. And then he loses it to
has, like
Bob Backlund.
Bruno has this amazing fucking run as champion because he kept packing the house out. And kudos to them being a smart promoter. All you got to do is you have this, this territory where you can constantly bring in new talent that's getting built up all over the country, getting all this experience. You bring them in, you do a run. Bruno goes over. Bruno poses, next guy, which is what they would essentially do with Hogan here. Hulkamania would begin running wild. We would see the Rock and Wrestling connection with feuds such, with guys like Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff, and King Kong Bundy, which would get us to WrestleMania 3, where Hogan would take on Andre, and he, tore all the ligaments in his back. And when you think of moments, Andre being slammed by Hogan at WrestleMania 3 is probably one of the biggest moments in the company's history. Match-wise, not so much.
Terry's like, I don't know. And I'm using Terry because this is how he acted on that damn Andre documentary on HBO, that he didn't know if Andre was going to do business or not, and blah, blah, blah bullshit. Like he had wrote out the match on a notebook pad after he finds out that Savage and Steamboat have wrote their match out on a notebook pad. He makes all this into a big deal for the HBO special. Fuck you.
Now, I will say fuck you to some of that, but I do believe that in his head, he legit did not know if Andre was going to go through with it or not. I do believe that. I
Oh
think
yeah,
even
because
Vince said that as well.
he used to give him shit in the like late 70s because Andre didn't like anybody that was almost a giant or deemed like the next guy because he was the guy. So I could see how he'd fuck with Hogan, but Hogan always embellishes everything because Hogan's Hogan, brother.
Which is, when you think about this, the trajectory of where we're going to get with the mega powers here, they're pretty much neck and neck. Hogan has this huge moment with Andre, and he defeats Andre at WrestleMania 3, and Savage and Steamboat steal the show with this amazing match. And they take the title off Savage, which Steamboat was supposed to have a longer run, but of course Bonnie fucked that up for him. So we get the Honky Tonk Man having this huge run instead, which I agree with. I think if you have a heel heavyweight champion, your middle champion needs to be babyface and flip flop. You can't have both heel. I think it takes away from the titles. That's just me. Hogan would remain WWF champion for 4 years and 13 days, only to lose the title in controversial fashion on the February 5th main event to Andre, which did gangbuster numbers for NBC when they aired it on there. Only
and
for Andre to go ahead.
We will never cover on this podcast.
It's not a great match. It's not a great match.
The angle's good, but the match is terrible.
Yeah, Andre would then give the title to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and good old oh my god, I just
the Hebners.
The Hebners. But the president, Jack Tunney. Oh my god, why did I blanked out on Jack Tunney? Jack Tunney would
Brandon's president.
Yeah, you're right. His prime minister. He would go on to strip the title, and we would get the tournament that would culminate at WrestleMania 4, where Andre and Hogan would have their rematch, and it would end in a Schmalz double DQ, leading for Savage to win the title from Ted DiBiase. But what happened right before WrestleMania 4, we actually get the Mega Powers. Oh, I think it's shake the hands. Oh man.
Yeah.
On Saturday night's main event in October of '87, Miss Elizabeth was able to get Hulk Hogan to save Randy from a beatdown by the Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation. The Mega Powers were born. Hogan and Savage would together rule the WWF for the next 16 months, which is wild to think that they kept this. They didn't, blow their load early on this.
Because Hogan was filming No Holds Barred, brother.
You
can't blow your load when you're filming a cinematic classic.
We'll get to that at the end of this episode. At WrestleMania 4, like I alluded to, Randy Savage defeated the $1 Million Man in the finals for the tournament with help from Hogan. Hogan technically hit Ted DiBiase with a chair, which would have been a disqualification.
Fucking heel, brother.
It would have ended WrestleMania 4 on such a sour note if Ted DiBiase would have won the title, but I still think he would have been a great champion for someone to chase. That's just me.
Same.
Savage would go on to main event the very first SummerSlam with Hulk Hogan, defeating the Mega Bucks, which was Andre and Ted DiBiase with Bobby Heenan in the corner, Jesse Ventura as the guest referee, and a nice distraction from Liz and her bloomers, which is kind of the main thing from that match.
Brother, you forgot the best outside accompaniment in the whole match.
Yeah.
Virgil, baby.
Meat Sauce was there.
Meat Sauce himself.
This is probably the only time Virgil will get a mention on this podcast as well.
Yeah, just like Brutus Beefcake, because we're never covering one of his shitty ass matches either.
You're right. Parasailers right to his fucking face, buddy. This is where, though, at SummerSlam, where the friction would start to begin, where Macho would see, you would see Hogan kind of tap Miss Elizabeth's ass. Was it on accident? Was it on purpose? I think it was on purpose because fuck Hulk Hogan.
Same.
The Mega
Lust
Powers
in his eyes.
Yeah, lust in your eyes, Hogan. The Mega Powers would go on to be sole survivors in the main event of Survivor Series 1988. After the match, Hogan began acting friendly towards Elizabeth, which would clearly upset Macho Man. Jesse Ventura would pick up on this and would be interviewing Savage right after the incident. I have that clip right here.
Mean Gene, I'm here in the dressing room with undisputed World Wrestling Federation champion Randy Macho Man Savage. Macho Man, I got a question for you. When you won the Survivor Series and you were standing in the middle of the ring with Elizabeth between you and Hulk Hogan, raising both your hands in victory, I saw Hogan peering out to the crowds like he always does. I saw Elizabeth enjoying the adulation. But Macho Man, I saw something a little different in your eyes. What was going on, Macho?
All you saw, Jesse Ventura, was the eyes of determination, yeah. And possibly the eyes of victory, yeah. The eyes of victory and the eyes of determination is what was happening at that particular moment, yeah. You got nothing on me, man, no. Won the match, yeah.
I understand victory. I understand determination, Macho, but I saw something else. When that match was over and the lovely Elizabeth was up in that ring with Hulk Hogan, and Hogan had the 24-inch pythons wrapped around her, Macho Man. I don't want to know what was in your eyes. I want to know what was going through your mind at that moment.
What was going through my mind at that moment was to be the sole survivor, which I was. One man was a sole survivor, and that was the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. World Wrestling Federation champion, yeah. That's what I am now, and that's what I am now. Yeah, now I am.
Macho.
That's okay, man. Not right now. I'm gonna tend to some new business right now. You understand that? I'm done here, man. I'm done here, yeah. I'm the sole survivor, yeah.
New business? Ha. I think there's a little bit more to all of this. Back to you, Mean Gene.
I'll be honest with you, when I watched this, I did not realize this, kind of preparing for all this, that clip existed, and it was on Daily Motion. I could not even find it on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Their domination would begin to end on January 7th, 1989, during the Saturday Night's Main Event 19. Sorry, Roman numeral numbers throwing me off today. As Hogan was beaten by the Twin Towers after his match with the King. Savage came out, cleared the ring with a steel chair. Elizabeth then took Hogan to the backstage area, which angered Savage. Problems increased further in the Royal Rumble match, where Hogan accidentally eliminates Randy Savage as he was trying to eliminate Bad News Brown. On February 3rd, Hogan and Savage faced the Twin Towers in a tag team match filled with controversy. Akeem threw Savage on top of Elizabeth, which is a fucking amazing bump to watch. She made that look devastating, knocking her out cold. Hogan picked her up, took her to the backstage, leaving Savage out there alone to face the Towers. Savage would famously attack Hogan in the back while he was attending to Miss Elizabeth. Great stuff, except for Hogan saying, "Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?" You keep hearing him say, "Are we ready?" And then Savage barges in there, hits him with a fucking championship belt. Great shit. Hogan would say that he doesn't know where Savage is coming from with all these accusations. Travis got this awesome audio for me for Macho Man, and here's what Macho Man had to say about it.
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. Elizabeth, my manager, lust in your eyes. I remember what you said.
You and I are fighting for the same lady, brother. She's my lady too, brother.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time against the Conquistador, yeah, when there was a Conquistador out of the ring, and I was beating that first Conquistador, and I could have beat the other. And guess who shows up? Yeah, to steal the madness spotlight. Hulk Hogan, yeah, the one that's so jealous of the World Wrestling Federation champion that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea you came up with for SummerSlam, huh? Did you forget that one? Think back, Hulk Hogan, yeah. Think back to your past and what you've done and what you've said.
That's when we'll give Elizabeth the high sign. And as she undoes the Velcro fly on the back of her
Oh, yeah, once again, hard to swallow that stupid idea, Hulk Hogan. But the thing that was the capper, yeah, the thing that I couldn't swallow that just made me throw up was at the end of SummerSlam, yeah. Behind my back. Love me like a brother. I got proof right here, yeah. You got lust in your eyes and in your black heart for Elizabeth. I got the proof. That right there sealed your fate, yeah. That put the madness over the edge, yeah. And when the moment of truth comes in WrestleMania 5, yeah, you're not taking anything that's mine, yeah. You're not taking my manager, Elizabeth, because she'll be in the madness's corner. And what else have I got that you want, yeah? The World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. And you're not getting that either, yeah. Because when I crawl through those ropes, yeah, and you look into the madness's eyes, yeah, you're gonna start to shake, Hulk Hogan, because I know everything about you. I know your strengths, and I know your weaknesses, yeah. And my eyes are the eyes of victory, yeah. And I will not be denied. Love me like a brother. I'm gonna get you, yeah. What are you gonna tell all your Hulkamaniacs in front of that capacity crowd, in front of zillions and zillions of people all over the world, when they know that Hulkamania's dead?
The lust in your eyes, Hogan. The lust in your eyes.
Hot dog and grandstanding. Hogan's promos would go.
Love me like a brother. So
Hogan's,
fucking good,
dude. It's really good. They don't do promos like this anymore. It's really good. The build for this is so fucking great. Hogan's promos would go on to make him seem like the heel and less like the babyface. Listening back to everything Hogan says, Hogan literally says, "Savage, you were holding the title for me because I was filming a movie. The only reason you were champion is because I let you be champion." That is a fucking heel move.
dude. Now back in like grown up eyes, this whole situation, Hogan's the heel. Macho Man's just trying to protect his title and his woman from Hulk Hogan's 10-inch dick. Like that's what's happening right here. He's trying to hold
Terry's
him back.
dick. That's Terry's dick.
No. Terry's is smaller than that. Got to get it right. Gawker got it construed, but like, shout out to Bruce Pritchard's podcast on the Mega Powers. I think it's like their second episode where they break this down, like frame by frame, essentially. And like, I never realized how much Hogan messed with Elizabeth until I listened to that podcast that time, because they planted seeds for a year, essentially, with him like hand on Liz's back, the hug, he turns around,
Very subtle.
Macho Man sees him hugging and he's like, "What the hell, brother?" And then like it's grade A storytelling, like fucking soap opera shit, if you really want to sit down and think about it. But Hogan's the fucking heel, whether people want to think of it or not. He's the heel.
I'm about to air a promo right here from Hogan. This is right during WrestleMania 5. So this is going to air right a little bit before their match. And tell me what you guys think. Is he the heel or is he the babyface in this?
A year ago at this time at WrestleMania 4, you were at the side of the Macho Man when he became the undisputed World Wrestling Federation champ. 1 year later, here in Atlantic City, you're going to be challenging this very same man for the world crown.
W.
mega powers to some man Savage was so forced to attack your WrestleMania.
Something Hogan says during this is that he put the Hulkamaniacs on hold for the Mega Powers. That to me right there makes him the fucking heel. He's saying that it was an inconvenience for him to team with Macho Man. He has his belt. He was holding that belt because I was filming a movie. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that makes him even more the heel. But like, and everything Jesse Ventura says in the promo we listened to before this ends up being fucking true. And like Macho Man doesn't want to see it. And then when he does see it, he's the bad guy, because it's just like when Hogan eliminates him from the Rumble. You can't tell me Hogan didn't know Macho Man was under Bad News Brown when he throws him out. You could see his orange fucking tights.
The fucked up thing is, you'll notice it in this match as well when we get to this match here shortly. Gorilla Monsoon has to cover for things that Hogan's doing to make him seem like the baby face. And then Jesse Ventura keeps saying, well, Hogan's the fucking heel the whole fucking time. And he's right. And it's just funny as an adult to watch this stuff back, to be like, oh shit, like Hogan's the fucking heel. Savage is the baby face.
Hogan's the asshole. And we just didn't see it because we were little Hulkamaniacs. Sucking on the Hulk.
Vince brainwashed us. I mean, literally, that's what he did. He brainwashed us to think Hogan was the good guy, which is funny because in real life, Hogan's kind of a cuck. So before, guys, we actually watch the match, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with you.
We believe the mat is sacred. Honor is real. And everything is discussed under pure rules. My name is Ryan, one half of the Wrestling Purists podcast. We review all things wrestling and don't pull any punches. We do an episode every Sunday where we go back and watch a pre-2020s pay-per-view and then talk about it in the segment we call the Retro Review. I also do an episode every Friday morning in our WIN series. WIN just stands for Weekend News. It gives me an opportunity to freely shoot on 10 news topics from the past week. I also do pay-per-view predictions and reactions to large breaking news stories like Tony Khan being the new owner of Ring of Honor Wrestling. You can find us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Check out our Twitter page at the WP_pod. That's THEWP_POD for all updates. Our pinned tweet has other links as well, like our merch store and how to support our show directly. Remember, whether you agree with us or not, we're right, because we are the wrestling purists.
The Mega Power explode here at WrestleMania 5.
And we're back, guys. So the biggest thing right now is go ahead and pull out your Peacock, get your Peacock app up. You're going to go to WrestleMania tab under Premium Live Events. You're going to go to Season 5, which is stupid. I hate that they do it like that. I guess I get why they do it, but it's stupid. Not a fan. But you're going to go to WrestleMania
Not
5.
a fan.
Not a fan. That's a deep, deep cut right there, buddy.
So Ray Kaiser special.
And you're going to go to the 3-hour, 9-minute, and 39-second mark. You're going to see Sean Mooney out here with some Ravage fans. It's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty funny because he starts like shoving people away towards the end of it because they're all up on him. All right, guys, and we're gonna say 3, 2, 1, play, and we're gonna start playing. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, look at this guy right there in the front. Look at this guy.
Just jumping in front of the camera.
Watch him. You don't see him. Oh, we're gonna get a fade to black here.
That's why we have so much security now, because of shit like that. The crowd was pretty split for this match, though.
Yeah, I agree. The entrance looks pretty cool. Just some quick tidbits about WrestleMania 5 as Macho Man makes his entrance here. WrestleMania 5 would take place April 2nd, 1989 at Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Technically, it was the Boardwalk Hall next to Trump Plaza, but this was the second year in a row they did this. WrestleMania 4 and 5 are the only 2 WrestleManias to be consecutively held back-to-back in the same venue, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. The attendance...
Also,
go ahead.
Real quick, Macho wearing that dual plate WWF title that has the silver behind it that you didn't really see much. It's pretty much exclusive, I think, to Macho Man's reign, because it goes back to all gold with Hogan. But it's very good looking title, and just the security right here, having to keep people off these guys. They really should have made the entrance ramp a little bit wider, which comes into play with Miss Elizabeth here in a second.
I think they're trying to maximize how many people they can pack in there, because their attendance 18,946. That is a lot of people. Look at Savage, man, looking so fucking beautiful in there.
But you got to think that's a step down. You got to think from WrestleMania 3 with the 93 supposed 1,000 people in the building. But like they had to make a shit ton of money off these to come back, back to back.
Oh yeah, so the buy rate for this show, from the notes I've read, 767,000 buys. 767,000 buys. Which is insane.
Is that just on pay-per-view? Or does that include closed circuit?
I'm assuming that's pay-per-view and closed circuit. I'm not 100% sure. But the next pay-per-view to beat that, do you want to take a guess what it was?
It's got to be a WrestleMania, and it's probably going to be in the Austin era. 17?
15. Yes.
That makes sense, though.
10 years
the height
later,
of Austin's popularity.
The next WrestleMania 14 was very close to beating it. You see Pat Patterson here walking Miss Elizabeth out.
He's got his arms over her, which is
I think he's worried about fans trying to grope her. You know what I mean? So I get that. But like you said, do you think they would make this a little bit wider?
And
even if you just took like one little
gorgeous
row. It's a beautiful dress.
Gorgeous here. Also, I know Jesse Ventura points this out, but I hate that Macho Man came out first.
Yes.
I hate that he came out first, and Hogan gets it goes into Hogan being the heel, and he's the bigger star, so he gets the second entrance. It's all fucking heelish.
Yes, Jesse Ventura compliments him on being a great champion, which he was. He did not have a whole lot of feuds. Who did he really have to feud with heel-wise? DiBiase was pretty much it.
Twin Towers. But, you really think about it, man, did he have a singles title defense on pay-per-view?
No. because
He
Mania
did
he won
not.
the title. They had SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and he was in the Royal Rumble match. So they could have made him be in the defend the title at the Royal Rumble. But like Jesse Ventura says, why did Savage come out first as the challenger always comes out first instead of the champion? They wanted that Hogan pop. I get
Which
it,
I love
but
it.
still, but
Hogan with a fucking weird skullet haircut here, by the way.
he is
So short.
jacked to the fucking gills, bud. He does
This
have
is
a
an
skullet.
iconic shot right here. They always put this in videos for Hogan, like when he's coming down right there. That's an iconic shot.
That's a very cool
Him
shot with
pointing
Savage.
and all the fans around.
Yeah, Savage on the fucking ropes pointing at Hogan as he's coming out. Gorilla says Hogan was the first one to congratulate Macho Man on winning the title. Jesse calls him the Luster. I think it's fucking amazing.
Fucking love Jesse Ventura. His commentary is underrated. He's better here though in the 80s than he is on the Sting Cactus Jack match. But him and Gorilla just flowed so well together, which it pains me to say that I always thought that Gorilla and Heenan were better than Gorilla and Ventura, but they're really good.
Yeah, they're good. They feed off each other very well. Jesse also calls Elizabeth a gold digger, which I think is fucking funny. And something here that we didn't notice for years, which is the normal now, but Savage has Velcro on his title belt, and I did not know that for years until someone I can't remember who pointed it out. I don't know if it was Bruce talking about it. Somebody mentioned it, and I said, "Holy shit!" Like you can see it on the back there. There's no snap plates.
It's easier for him to take off, which I think it is Bruce that points it out. Also, quick point out that this attire and all this with the robe was made into a resin statue WWE shop sold last year. This whole outfit it's fucking gorgeous. The belt's gorgeous. Savage was dressed to the nines all the time. Can't say he wasn't.
Yeah, especially at WrestleMania 4, that people always forget that he dressed 4 different sets of gear, 4 different robes, everything at WrestleMania, which is really cool. Even Liz.
Yep. Even Liz.
So I do want to point out that if you break down matches, Hogan does not have a whole lot of just wow me matches. It's always kind of pretty simple shit. Beat down. Hogan gets the heel gets the upper hand. Hogan makes the comeback. Boot, punches, boot, leg drop, 3. What would you say if you had to give you even like a top 5 Hogan matches that you can think of?
This match is in it. I think this is one of Hogan's better matches, but it's because he's working Randy Savage, and Randy Savage is going to make him work. Man, if you think about it, you're going to have to include Japan stuff if you're talking about matches, because he actually worked in Japan. He had we always talk about Bret Hart had a routine. Hogan had a routine. Like you said, Hulk up, 3 punches, boot, leg drop. I mean, just getting to that point was the problem. But basic punch and kicks, like I know our friend Jeff on the Wrestling Purist gives Sting shit for punches and kicks, but Hogan's just as bad. Punches and kicks. It's body slam. That's about it. But you'd have to look at his matches with Hogan, even his matches with Flair, maybe in WCW. But it was more about the story with Hogan and the fan reaction than it was about what went on in the matches.
Yeah,
I'd say
memorable matches. This one with the build alone for this match makes this match worthy of being on our podcast, and it is one of the better matches of Hogan's. To me, it's actually one of it's not as good of match for Savage. I feel like I've seen Savage in better matches. I would say Hogan and Rock for pretty much the same reason. The crowd and the build was another reason why that match was so good. I could put that in my top 5 Hogan matches. Also, that the match that we watched on Wrestling Ruined with Hogan and Vader, I believe it was at Super Brawl, is a pretty damn good match.
And as much shit as people give the Warrior, you could tell Hogan could wrestle if he wanted to, because he put Warrior in his best match he ever had at WrestleMania 6, and the build to that match was great too. So I would throw the Hogan Warrior match from WrestleMania 6 in there as well. His match with
Savage,
Sting at
great.
Starrcade could have been huge, but they fucked it with overthinking it and screwy finishes and Sting not having a tan, brother.
Jesse Ventura says during this match, "Who the hell was Elizabeth before she got with Macho Man?" Love it as well. It's great stuff. Like Ventura's just he's trying to make him the heel. Hogan's out there hamming it up with former President Donald Trump, which is fucking wild to say, knowing that he's in the front row here. Look at all the businessmen in the front row. It looks so out of place, and like you just.
But
I
they're
don't
having
like
a good
it.
time though. I give it to them though. They're having a good time. I did like the fact that Savage did use Liz there as like a way to stop Hogan, which was a heel move, but still, good little move there from Savage. Both these guys in great shape though. Tan to the fucking top. Ooh,
Oh
spin around,
goddamn.
drop toe hold right there.
Something too that you we've alluded to with Hogan, even his promos with Hogan kind of being the heel. Hogan wrestles like a heel. Like it's weird seeing him put a headlock on in this match. It's fucking weird to see this. But Hogan has always worked as a heel, even when he was technically a babyface. Savage of the back body drop here.
The fans just ate it up though because the way they put it over is that he was giving the heels a taste of their own medicine kind of thing, but he wrestled like a heel
From he does eye rakes,
foot back scratches, foot like he does the boot here where he puts it on Savage's face and twists it, like stuff like that. Very heelish. So I just I've always thought Hogan wrestled like a heel.
Like he hasn't been in a like a wrist lock. It's weird to see Hogan actually work because I feel like like I said, it's just a routine. Hogan would go out there, he'd do some punches and kicks, he'd get the beat down, he'd get he'd ham it up a little bit with the crowd, do some like clotheslines and shit, and then he would get worked over, and then it'd build up to his big comeback. Now Savage is kind of taking the upper hand, but it's weird to see Hogan work like that. Savage yanking the hair, pulling him down.
You got to think the last three Manias though he's wrestled Andre twice and King Kong Bundy, so he's just fought monsters. The first time he did wrestle, Piper and Cowboy Bob in Piper and Orndorff in the main event. So those guys were workers, but you think about it, they always just had a heel factory for Hogan to body slam and leg drop. That's all it was. That's what the fans wanted to see.
The telling thing about this is the amount of pay-per-view buys this show got, and you can't even argue it's off this match. This is what sold the pay-per-view, and it was masterful storytelling from a company that is terrible at telling stories. And
here, quick question for you right here. Name another match.
I can only name one more off the top of my head, and it's the Intercontinental title match, and it's Warrior and Rude. It's because Rude wins the title. That's the only reason I remember.
The only other match I remember, and it's because I saw it when I watched this pay-per-view, or when I watched this match, was Heenan and Red Rooster, and I wouldn't have known that was on the show if I hadn't seen it.
Oh, he's pulling Hogan's hair right here.
Because doesn't Jake wrestle Andre and Big John Studd's the referee?
Watch this spot. Oh, he throws Hogan out. And this is a very interesting point between you and me because Hogan gets busted open, but Hogan gets busted open the hard way here. And as I watched this match back, even as a kid, I never saw where Hogan got busted open until you brought up this point. Where do you think he got busted open?
I did some detective work, and I think he gets busted open when he pulls Randy over the top of him. His boots, maybe the flap or the laces or something, catch him and slice him up, kind of like a paper cut almost. Because those
or his
boots
left
have
eye.
have the ridges on them, like it's almost like a paper. It can be sharp. So when he pulled him over his head, he cut his eye. I think that's where it happened.
Yeah,
it's the only way he could have happened. It's the only way it could have happened because there's no room for him to blade. There's no reason for him to blade there. So it had to be a hard way.
Yeah, and he's already doing some of that heel shit. He did the foot like rake with his boot over the eyes of Macho. He almost pulled Savage's gear down on that spot too, which I don't remember that spot. until I watch this back. It's been so long since I watched this pay-per-view. But like you said, there's Hogan. They're actually showing the blood too, which is weird to see
Yep.
in this time frame of WWF because they would not do that, you know.
Yeah, and the fact that it's just there kind of adds a little bit to it. But you could tell, like when Hogan bleeds at WrestleMania, is it 7 when he wrestles Slaughter? You could tell he did that one because he bleeds a crimson mass. Like this one's just a little cut, and it does get more blood as they go because just the adrenaline and everything going. But like right now they would have stopped the match probably in our age now, but this added just a little bit to it.
Yeah, I
and
like
even even Gorilla's like, is the Hulkster bleeding? And then they go into like trying to figure out where he got him at.
Yeah, I couldn't pinpoint when it was, and then right after that happens is when you start to see it. And it's funny because when that spot happens, Gorilla Monsoon says that he defends Hogan for doing it, for grabbing the tights and throwing them out. He said he was using it for leverage, and Jesse Ventura calls him out on it. He's like, "What do you mean?" It's like if Randy would have done that, that would have been cheating. And then Gorilla's just like, "Will you stop?"
It's great though, like that they had that where they could bounce back and forth, and that he called them out on it. Like, and just the fans, the flash bulbs, man, we don't get that anymore. The flash bulbs on the screen and leaving that little spot on the tape.
Yeah, I was about to say you can, if when they pan up to the lights, it like freezes the picture quality. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. It leaves it like right there in the corner, left the lines of it. It's wild watching old wrestling. Anything old like this, like it's just people will never understand. Like right there, like the whole lights across the screen. Oh, trying to cheat there.
Yeah, Jesse even says, Hogan's the bigger guy, but he says that, it's Hogan's momentum that took him over on that actually helped him get out of it too, because he rolled through it so fast. It's like little things they were saying to make the match make sense, and I like that.
And Liz doing her part, just staying in the neutral corner, not doing anything. There's Hogan groveling. Like I'm pretty sure Jesse says, "Oh, look at him groveling at the feet of Macho Man."
And Savage punches him square on that fucking cut, dude. Look at he's drawing more blood. He's like, "Well, you're already bleeding. Might as well fucking make the most of it.
Let's use it." But see, even Hogan uses the closed fist and stuff later, which is something Jesse points out. Like Hogan wrestles like a heel, but they always defended it because he was giving it back to the quote unquote heel of the match. But Savage still has his fans. Look, there's people out there cheering for him right now. I mean,
at the end of the show, there's a little bit of trash thrown at Hogan, which is kind of telling that the tide's going to start to shift with what people are wanting.
Slapped him.
You got to think, man. I mean, we weren't. I was like a year old. No, I was not even a year old yet. Like you were over 2. A year old. Yeah, almost 2.
A year and a half.
So can you imagine what it would have been like? You've already been through. This is the 5th WrestleMania, and Hogan's your top guy each time. Don't you think you're probably burned out on it as well? Like if you're our age now.
This is my brother's. It's kind of like your brother's era. Like this is when he was really big into it, and he's the one that got me into it because he was watching it. As the older I got, you just came kind of a ritual. But he said he was burnt out on Hogan. Like he had started watching like the NWA and stuff, and he was Road Warrior fan, Flair fan. Like this at this point, I didn't notice that they tore the apron down.
Yeah, the apron down. I know I have that in my notes. That he just fucking hoofed him over the top rope, which would have been DQ in WCW. Fucking Bill Watts.
But my brother was more of a Savage guy than he was a Hogan guy, and he said he could remember this angle, and like people thought more of that it was more Hogan's fault than it was Savage's here, because if he'd have just left well enough alone, none of this would have ever happened.
Well,
if you think about it,
Hogan wanted to get the title back, man.
If he would have not messed with Liz and stuff, there wouldn't have been that rift.
Look at this guy in the front there. You see him?
He's so excited.
I never noticed that until I watched this back.
Wish I could feel like that again about wrestling sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like every once in a while it does happen. I get that way sometimes at NGW shows. Like I will talk about at the end of this show with Some of the matches, I kind of get lost in it and like become a fan again. It's fun. I like Liz gets in the way here. He's about to javelin, Savage, and Savage don't care. He's whoop. How wild would this match have been if Elizabeth turned heel on Hogan and helped Savage win the match?
That would have been great, but they didn't have the balls to do that back then. They just did not have the balls to do it. Because Liz was a merchandise pusher. If you think about it, man, they sold posters of her back in the day. She was on the cover of magazines, all that shit. But you got to think they didn't have any other women that could do that, except maybe Sherry. But she wasn't. She was deemed a heel, so people weren't buying her stuff. Cool mullet kid back there, by the way.
Oh, they're fixing the apron. Did you see that?
Yep, do see it now. I do like that the ref throws Liz out.
Yeah,
she becomes a distraction. I do like that.
He pulls him off. He says, "You back to the ring. You get out of here." And they move her to the back. Pat Patterson actually moves her to the back here.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think Macho Man was okay with it because he knew that Pat was a homosexual and went and tried to hit on Liz.
Probably that's the only reason he
sincerely
only gonna let one person do it, and it's Pat. That's it.
And it is funny because Macho's gonna go to the top here, and he's gonna hit this patented. He did it for years. No wonder his knees didn't blow out on him like sooner, where he would dive from the very top rope onto a double axe handle and catches Hogan's throat on the guardrail.
That is something like masterful selling by Hogan there, but you've talked about that before. He did that night after night after night after night. How he did not blow his knees out before he blew them out in 1998 is beyond me. No, I think he blew one out in 97 too. But like, I mean, dude, he did it every fucking night. How do you not blow your knees out? How do you not have a hip replacement from hitting the elbow?
Yeah, you're right. He did that spot. Oh, he did that spot where he does like a stun gun where he dives over the top rope and racks their throat on the rope. I love that. And then he did that. For the love of me, I cannot remember the name of that move. But when they're sitting on the ropes and he jumps on them, he landed right on his neck. It looked really good.
Diesel did that a lot because he was a big man and it was made an impact. But you got to think, man, they do very simple stuff in this match, and it still holds up today. They're not having to do 100 super kicks or Canadian destroyers or even a damn superplex. They don't even do a superplex in this match. No suplexes, like maybe a back suplex. We discussed that earlier, but like it's very, very elementary what they do, and it has the crowd on the edge of their seat.
But here's the thing too with this, and booking wise and logic wise, it makes sense that the match is like this because this is kind of like a blood feud. This isn't like we're gonna go out there and have a match and entertain the crowd. I fucking don't like you because you're trying to fucking touch my wife,
choking him,
you're trying to be with my wife, and Hogan's like, no, I'm not. And so it's become a blood feud. So it should be like this. It shouldn't be like a cookie cutter match, and it should be like a fucking war. And that's what it's been.
Oh, quick question here. While Hogan's getting the life choked out of him, better Hebner brother, Earl or Dave?
I like Dave because Earl was the one that got plastic surgery.
It's true.
Do you think
this feud? Do you think this feud is the inspiration for "Be a Man," Hogan? The rap song.
I think so. Hogan said,
"Oh God."
You see him like twitch it, 1, 2, and he just fucking flings Savage out of it. Crowd does go nuts. Hogan's
damn it! I hate
the fuck up.
Man, this is where they start. Hogan always kicked out of people's finishes. It's where they start the whole thing of finishes don't make in a match. The most egregious to that is when he hits how many elbows on a Warrior? WrestleMania 7.
It's like 5.
And Warrior just kicks out, hits him with a body splash and beats him. I fucking hated it because that elbow drop was beautiful.
We're going to
Oh,
get close to the end.
brother.
I want to quote what our good buddy Brandon says. He goes, he hates when Hogan bleeds and it's only red. I was promised he had red, white, and blue running through his veins. It was all his lies, and Bobby Heenan was right. And we get the leg drop. 1, 2, 3. Hogan is champion for the third time.
I give it to Savage, though. He laid there, didn't even try to kick out, didn't do the 3.5 count, anything.
Am I correct? This is his second time winning the title. This is his second time, not his third time.
Yep. Second time winning the belt because
they changed the belts out.
Yep, because there's snaps. The snaps are there.
Him out. He's gonna put the belt on himself. This is technically the first time Hogan actually holds that title belt. I know he comes out with it on Saturday night's main event. And like in that infamous promo where he has a picture with the old belt, or he's cutting a promo with the old belt, and then he comes out with the new belt. And then that shortly after that, the title is vacated and Savage wins it at Mania. I like that Savage pretty much no-sold the leg drop too.
Yep. After the fact, he did stay down long enough to make it look good. Oh, praise Jesus. Prayers, brother. Vitamins.
I have my
Linda.
Notes. Hogan must pose.
Oh, for 5 minutes. He has to pose for 5 minutes.
Yeah, well,
that's
we're
how much
watching that.
time we pretty much have. Yeah.
There is an infamous promo. I was going to add it to the podcast, but I feel like we had enough little audio added that I had not seen maybe in a long time. But it's basically Elizabeth in the back with Gene Okerlund, and Sherry comes back there and kind of gets in her face, and then Savage comes in and he keeps teasing he's going to punch her. Hogan comes in, makes the save, and then Sherry holds Hogan, and Macho hits him square in the fucking chest with a steel chair. The bump, it looks really good the way he hits him. Hogan
right
no-sells
the chin, almost.
Hogan no-sells all of it.
He's up in 5 seconds.
Yep, and then Savage is trying to destroy the belt, which I'm assuming is probably the old belt, the Velcro belt.
Yeah. I have. Do you know where that was? Did they show that as like a Coliseum video exclusive, or was that like something they showed on Saturday night's main event?
I'm not sure, because I think it was after the fact, because the end of the clip it shows Brother Love, so I'm assuming it was on like Superstars or whatever it would have been on afterwards. But that's what I'm.
Let's
assuming.
show you what happened after the main event or something like that. Probably.
Yeah.
Donald Trump back there, proud of himself.
Yep. After Mania, Randy would join forces with Sherry. Hogan would have No Holds Barred come out and be a box office smash.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. It was not. Hogan would start feuding with Savage, or feuding with Zeus, because Zeus claimed he lost in the movie, it wasn't real, so he wanted to get his win back in real life. So they would go on to have a tag match. Randy Savage and Zeus would take on Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Hulk Hogan throughout most of '89, including their tag team main event at SummerSlam, where they would be defeated by Hulk and Brutus. The rivalry continued until the No Holds Barred pay-per-view, where Hogan and Beefcake would beat Zeus and Savage in a steel cage match. And in the rivalry,
the movie,
Hogan would have another. He would have a Survivor Series match, and Zeus would be in that match as well. And that's the last we'd see Zeus. Which urban legend was Zeus was allegedly going to be in line if things went well for WrestleMania 6. Which I'm glad that wasn't the case.
He was not good enough to be at WrestleMania 6.
No, we got.
You want to talk about stiff, like a flat board in the ring that you're wrestling? Like a freaking broom would have sold better.
I do like that they actually show the replay here. They don't typically do that very often during this time period. After the No Holds Barred cage match, Randy and Macho Man would only meet one last time in a WrestleMania rematch for the title on the Main Event 3, where we see Buster Douglas, who was supposed to be Mike Tyson, punch Savage out post-match, and after he had slapped Savage had slapped Buster Douglas. It would have been very interesting to see Mike Tyson then instead of Buster Douglas.
Very true. I think it would have made more sense, Mike Tyson, but take somebody lightly and get knocked the fuck out. That's what happens.
Savage would soon become Macho King and Hogan would move onward to WrestleMania 6 to battle the Warrior. And that is the Mega Powers exploding, good buddy.
Exploded my pants watching it.
It was good.
Oh yeah,
it was good.
brother.
The build, the promos, it was pretty dang good. I mean, obviously they drew a packed house. They drew a fucking crazy. It would last for 10 years. This was 700 plus buys. That's fucking nuts, man.
Well, and you got to think WCW rode the Mega Powers too. That what were they, the Mega Maniacs or something in
It was
WCW?
something like that.
So like they rode this and that angle through WCW. Like they couldn't say it was a WrestleMania main event in WCW, but they definitely talked about the feud Hogan and Savage had in the WWF in WCW. So
yeah, I still think
you can't tell me like this wasn't a catalyst.
As a heel and feuded him with Hogan in '95. I think it would have been pretty good. That's just me though. But yeah, guys, that was a fun episode. I'm glad we got to go back on memory lane and watch this one. It's weird. We keep going back, like match wise. We keep going further and further back in time with each one. I do have the wheel of names up, Travis. So let's spin the wheel, make a deal, and which is apropos because we're about to get NXT Halloween Havoc this weekend. And let's see what the next match is going to be. Here we go. What do you think it's going to be?
TNA.
That'd be an interesting one.
Be something out of left field.
Oh, it is.
Shit.
Juventud Guerrera versus Rey Mysterio from Big Ass Extreme Bash ECW.
Oh my god. At least it's good ECW. Fuck ECW. Just saying.
If it was bad ECW, it wouldn't be on this show. So there's that.
Well, I just watched 4 weeks of bad ECW preparing for Wrestling Ruin. So, God.
So yeah, guys, this match is going to take place, I believe, in 95?
Yes.
Or 96?
1995.
95.
I think it's the end of 95, if I'm not badly fooled.
Yes, which is ironic because this match would actually give you the match we get at One Night Stand between I'm thinking Psychosis and Ray, but Ray's little stint in ECW is with the match he had with Hoovy and Psychosis. So I'm really excited. Bischoff would shortly come in there and steal these guys up and take them a part of WCW. I'm excited to watch this because I've for the life of me, I haven't seen it in years, and I'm really excited for it. As we wind down, Travis, what you got for us, man?
Nothing much, man. Just still selling stuff over there at eBay at TGL the Man 12. You getting ready to put up a whole bunch of stuff to this weekend. So by the time you hear this, there'll be tons of new goodies up there. Been going through some stuff. That's really about it. Got a couple of podcasts coming up with the Wrestling Purist, covering WCW. We got Mayhem 2000 around the corner, followed by Starrcade 2000. And I showed the group today. I had to buy this online because it's one of the pay-per-views not on the network, but Millennium Final 2000. I bought a copy of
German?
that.
Is it German?
German only pay-per-view. Alex Wright is all over said pay-per-view. So
goddamn right.
I had to buy it just so I could say I had a copy of it until it becomes available on the networks, which probably never will. But that's pretty much all I got going on for right now. I mean, this pod, Wrestling Ruin, which you're probably about to cover, looking forward to getting back together and getting down that 95 terrain as well. Here's some tab.
Yes, our good buddy Brandon's been unavailable as he works in a haunted house, and it's the busiest time right now. Also got drunk people causing trouble for them, hitting a man in the face and breaking the dude's face pretty bad. So hope good old Johnny gets well soon. But yeah, Wrestling Ruin, Jeff, definitely check us out. That's on the Project Ladder Network, where we go through 1995. Right now, we just finished King of the Ring, and we're going through June of '95. So check us out at Wrestling Ruined on all social media platforms and on iTunes and Spotify. Also, guys, the show I'm involved with, NGW, we just had our Nightmare and Armory Road show. Pretty good show. Speedball Bailey and Facade. That match fucking ruled. We got to see Dalton Castle and the boys in action. Pretty solid show all around. Definitely check it out on the High Spots Wrestling Network when you get the chance. And this podcast, guys, follow us. Get us on iTunes, Spotify. Definitely check us out. And that's pretty much all I got, Travis. So until next week, and we'll finally get to have some ECW. So, which is kind of wild. We've had a WCW match, we've had a WWF match, and now an ECW match on this podcast. So, yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Until next week, I am Eddie, and this is
Travis.
We will see you then.